Here we are live again. Nice Job Report. Welcome along. It is Thursday night, so it is Nice Job Report, and we are getting very musical again. I know this is the same song as we had for Guillermo last week, but it was so good, I thought. So we'll just go along with it. Matthew, welcome to the show. Just you and I to start with. Robbie's coming along this evening.
Yeah.
He's in traffic in Sydney.
Well, yeah. Why not? So, just it's the way it goes, isn't it? Could be traffic in Auckland, traffic in Sydney. Yeah.
See if you can guess where I am, Matthew. For the audio listeners, it's quite dark.
It's quite You're not giving
me.
For those ones that can see you visually, they'll appreciate that I don't have a hell of a lot to work with.
I am in Mungafai Heads this evening on a wee break from Auckland, but not a break from the football. Not a break from the football. We've got a big show tonight. We're going to be talking about the 2-2 at Central Coast at home. I just watched back the game. Actually, it was I was there at the game, as you would know, and it was kind of a bit of a frustrating one because I think the whole crowd thought we'd got the 2-1 kind of in the bag because we were kind of nursing the game home a little bit. I thought. You were watching at home? Do you think we were sort of going to be all right?
Yeah, I felt a bit. I actually thought they were going to be okay. I didn't really see much of an equaliser coming against Auckland. So yeah, I was a bit surprised. They conceded that. A weird goal to concede though. When you watch it back, it's a bit of a comedy of errors, but there's plenty of ways they could have cleared the ball. Yeah, it's a weird old one.
Yeah. It was just one of those goalmouth scrambles. I think the goal went in and.
Yeah,
the crowd was really disappointed. We were up for another win, and it just tailed off right at the end.
Yeah, you mentioned about through the TV. It went pretty flat, pretty quick on the TV. Yeah, there was a lot of I think audible gasps. I think you could probably hear from the from the crowd. But
a little bit of shock and all. But this happens. 2-2. It's all right. Another point.
Yeah, it's another point. They keeps on ticking along, doesn't it? The blue and black juggernaut keeps ticking along. So yeah.
I called the episode Auckland FC grinding towards glory. I feel like we've had 3 draws on the bounce, and I feel like this is kind of our worst run. This is our dip in the season. And if you picked up 3 points from your worst run of 3 games, it's not the end of the world, is it?
No, I was going to say that's as bad as it's going to get. I just think maybe. I'll probably get onto this when we start talking about the game in a bit more detail. But maybe looking at some of the players, I'd maybe almost think about is Corica looking at maybe the rotational? Is he looking at some players? Because they've obviously played quite a few games, and does he start to think about bringing somebody in to give this guy a bit of a break or? Maybe try something else, but there's one person that I feel like stands out a little bit that I think could probably do with a bit of a break, and maybe put somebody else in for a little bit.
Who's that?
Yeah, I think Sakai looks a bit tired.
Sakai needs a break.
I think so. I think he looks a little bit. It's like debrief. They ask a lot. Corica asks a lot of his 2, kind of fullbacks. They're the guys that kind of offer the width.
They bomb up and down, don't they?
They do, yeah. And I think De Vries is okay. I think the other thing that probably supports my argument a little bit is that Elliott coming off the bench has always looked pretty good. I think he can. I think he can deem himself quite hard done by that he hasn't probably played more games.
He got the goal this week. He got the goal.
Yeah,
I was right on top of it. It was he hit it so sweetly,
It was such a good finish.
Cannons.
Oh yeah, for a right back. So, but then Sakai got the header, didn't he? Did he bring it? No.
Yeah, he nodded it back.
Yeah,
Sakai is brilliant. Right. He's so fit.
Yeah.
And you can see he's a machine on the pitch, and he just works and works and works, and he's the captain.
Oh, yeah.
But so we talked a little bit about this. Was it last week or the week before? I think when Robbie was on, we were talking about resting players, and he'll be joining us soon and might tell us otherwise. But he was of the mind you players don't want to start sitting out in these last few rounds of the A League. Even if we've got it in the bag type thing, because, then you're not fresh for the... we're obviously going to be in the finals.
Yeah.
Where we're going to be, we don't know yet, but...
It's such a hard debate about the, momentum is everything. And, you want to try and keep a settled, particularly that back 5, want to keep them as settled as possible and, just keep ticking over. I don't know. I just don't think it would be the end of the world if Sakai got a bit of a break. It's not that his performance I think is poor. I just think that he's that important. I think he's one of those important players, and I think if he just starts to, but again, Koroku and all the team there, they're privy to a lot more data than we are. I listen to a podcast about another team, and you kind of debate the players and how they look. But they know more data than you do. They have all these trackers and monitors, and they can tell. Yeah, they know when people are, what do they call it, like redlining. When they're in the.
Matthew, I can tell you for about 25 minutes of the match on Saturday, I was looking after 5 children.
You were redlining
at the same time. So I mean, whether Sakai was quite, hitting the straps or not, I have no idea, to be honest.
We could have put a tracker on you, and I could have just had I could have been privy to the data here, and I could be going to my wife and saying,
I probably got around the stadium as much as Sakai does. Looking after these kids.
It's like, I'm concerned about Dale. He's barely made it halfway through the game, and he's already started to redline. I think we might need to need a break.
Sub him off.
Sub him off and bring another person in.
Give him a break. Give him a break. Let him watch the football for a change.
Exactly.
Sakai potentially Sakai. But what are you going to do? Like play him every other game from here on in? I mean, it's I'm not quite sure how many more games we've got, but it's a fair few. There's still 6 or 7 games left, and the finals beginning of May. We're end of April now, so what's that? 5-6 weeks ago away.
Yeah.
It is a weird one whether you'd start to keep players fresh. I mean, Jesse Randall's getting more of a run, so maybe it's a chance to give Guillermo a rest because he looked a bit knackered because he's played every game. Every minute of every game.
Yeah. I don't mind the I don't mind the rotation at the front. I think that's a lot more. You can massage that through a little bit easier. I think you just got to be careful. I'll tell you what though, Dan Hoare looked quite, for somebody that's been out for so long. I thought Dan Hoare was pretty impressive. I thought he actually held the line pretty good. I don't think he's going to take it. I wondered how many minutes or how much time he would need before he could start coming back to how he was before. But I didn't think he looked too bad. I know they conceded 2 goals, but. The last one was a bit of a.
But what's this defence now? So we've had 2 conceded in the last game, 4 against Adelaide. Was it 2-2 or 1-1? 1-1, I can't remember now. One in the middle. Anyway, we've conceded 6-7 goals.
Yeah.
7 or 8 goals. I remember what it was. I think it was 1-1.
Yeah.
In the last 3 games, which that's not when we were talking beginning of the season. It was very much like this team's built on a defence. It was impenetrable, but now we're kind of like. It's almost got what I was wishing for early in the season, these big scoring games. And it's kind of like, but it feels like it's come at a dangerous time because if you're free scoring and free letting goals in, then the cup finals, the playoffs.
Yeah.
Wow. Anything can happen, eh? Anything can happen.
I mean, people have had a better chance to have a look at Auckland, maybe to see, maybe they've played so many games now. People have got a pretty good, set amount of data. They can have a look at exactly how Auckland's set up. I guess it goes back to there's cricketers that come on the scene and they make a lot of runs. They don't really see them for the first time, but when you start to see them a bit more, you can start to see, there's a bit of a, they've got a bit of a problem here, or I think maybe we could exploit them there. So, but you're right. Auckland was super tight at the back. They must have conceded more goals in these last
goals
few
in
games.
I think there's no goals in the first 3 or 4 games, and then there were very few goals. But this run of they've shipped a few. I mean, like goalmouth scramble, you can't legislate for it, but no, it happened.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And so looking at your ratings there, we'll go through the ratings just before Robbie jumps on. Paulson a 6. Didn't he make a good stop halfway through one of the halves?
I think he did. I don't know. I mean, obviously he's conceded 2 goals, which
conceded a couple of goals,
particularly great. Maybe that's. I just feel like there was something. I always when I watch the game, I always put little marks against just to say, that was something pretty good, and that was something. And I'm just trying to remember when I look back on his performance.
So we got for the audio notes, we've got Paulson 6, Jeffrey 6-5, Hall 6-5, Smith 6. Sakai 6.5, Moreno 7, Gallios 6.5, Bremer 6.5, Rogerson 6, May 8.5, man of the match, Randall 7.5.
Yeah, this is a bit of a weird. This is a bit of a weird one. I feel like this is the first time I've done my ratings, and it's kind of flipped on its head. Usually, the higher scorers are at the back, and then there's usually
most of the season. We were really solid.
there's a light smattering of a high-ishy number with the attacking 5, but this one's kind of gone against the grain a little bit. Yeah, I just thought that the back 5 have not done particularly great there, but I mean, May was absolutely, I thought he was fantastic.
Well, Guillermo, well, let's go through the game a little bit. Guillermo opens the scoring on about 12. Oh, no, was it 10 minutes? Oh, my goodness, I'm trying to make notes on my iPad. It's something like that. 10 minutes, and Randall, lovely flick back, pull back, and Guillermo's kind of running onto it. Nice header, I thought, lovely.
Oh yeah. I thought he was. I just thought he was just. I just thought he just had a really good performance. I mean, if there's any players out there that feel like they need a good performance next week, then have a think about coming on the podcast, because maybe there's a there's a correlation between you come on the podcast and you have a good game. But yeah, I just thought he was just really good. Anything that was good that was doing through Auckland seemed to come through himself. Particularly the fact that
he looks hungry, Guillermo. He looks hungry when he plays. I like that.
Yeah, it's just he just gets, like we used to say, he just gets stuck in, doesn't he? Nothing's too much of a trouble for him. And also he hasn't got his usual guy up front, has he, either? He's had to
he's chopped and changed because he's with Randall.
Yeah.
Jesse, who I think's a really good player. He's in the All Whites squad. He might play for the All Whites.
Yeah, I think he's come on. Yeah, I think of all the young lads that they've tried up the top, I think he looks pretty obviously Liam Gillian was looked pretty good at the start, but I think Randall's going to probably win the race there. I don't know if they have maybe like young player of the year or something like that.
Not even on the bench. Not even on the bench. Gillian. I keep looking down at the subs. Yeah, he's disappeared entirely.
I mean, we'll get onto this with the socials. I feel like I've read somewhere that he is injured.
Right.
He is, but I mean, he was kind of. Yeah,
he'll need his pace as well. If it's a kind of groin or something, he'll be.
Yeah, but the
probably let us know on the things.
I think the performances were starting to go a little bit, and obviously you got your Rogersons and your Randalls